Welcome. This is your girl Red Rose Ever Missionary, and today is day number 7. Okay, so I'm excited that today is number 7. Thus far has the Lord brought us. Today is the 7th of August 2020. So if you're wondering what day 7 is about, I'd like for you to just go to my YouTube channel and check out the videos that I did. Especially the first one, which will give you an introduction, will give you an idea of what these 35 days are all about. So day 7, today I would like to dedicate this day to the glory of God, to my in-laws or my in-loves. That's my mom in love, my dad in love, my sissy in love, sister in love, that's St. G's, as well as my cousins and so on. I won't mention their names because they are a lot. My nieces, my aunties, uncles, and so on. I want to start by saying that for some of you who know, or if you watch the other episodes, or rather the other videos, you will notice that I talked about how I lost my mom 13 years ago, and how God has really been faithful to me, because, when I lost my mom, some of the things that people were saying were that, you need a mom when you're about to get married, you need a mom when you are, when you start to have children, because those are among other moments that a mother plays a very key role in a woman's life, in the African context. I don't know about the Western world. So people warned me about that, which I think was good because it was coming from their place of revelation, maybe experience, I don't know. But one of the things that I asked God for was, first of all, beautiful marriage, and also that God should take care of me, and I think I was ready. I wasn't really ambitious about what God was going to do, but I knew that God was going to take care of me. And I remember praying about my wedding day and saying that I don't want to shed any tear. I don't want my wedding day to come and I start crying about the people that were not there. I wanted to celebrate it because, God was still faithful to me. Anyhow, after that, obviously, after a couple of years, actually, obviously I got married, and my parents-in-law or in love, they stay in the eastern part of Zambia. That's like a couple of hours drive from Lusaka. So obviously there was that process. When I first met them, it was quite emotional. Obviously they liked me. Yes, and I think they liked me because they love my husband so much, and obviously they gave approval. They sent people to my place, and they paid and everything. So in the African context, when the in-laws accept you, then they are going to encourage their son to pay dowry, which my son did, to the glory of God, which was exciting. Anyways, let me say this a little bit about this, that when a man is serious, like, they will reach to your place. I felt so special that day that my husband sent people to my place, because I made my dad so proud, because it shows that I was serious. It shows that I was a woman of good character who wanted to do things in the right way. Like my dad puts it, that you don't want a guy to come through the house, to use the window through the house. You want the guy to use the door, and that's what my husband did. Anyway, fast forward, they accepted me and we got married, and they were just amazing throughout the wedding processes. To be honest, like, they never gave me any stress. Like my mom, obviously I talk more with my mom than my dad, but they never sort of gave me any stress, to the glory of God. We had amazing, wedding preparations, marriage preparations, and we got married, and they've just been amazing. And guess what? Even when I was having my baby in Nehemiah, like, my mom traveled all the way from Eastern Province to come to the Saka to take care of me for 15 days. And this is a career woman, a woman who's working, It's not like she's a full-time mother. Like, she works, she's a leader, she has a lot of responsibilities, but she put everything on hold just to come and take care of me and her grandson. And that was just something that I'll forever be grateful for. I don't take none of that for granted. And I remember even when she came to stay with us in our house, like, I was so excited that she was going to come. I know most of the people, they don't have smooth relationships with their in-laws, and when the in-law is in. For example, there's one advert that I hate on ZNBC, which talks about, I don't know what product that is, but where the woman is talking about, Bapongos is for my setting. I was like, what? Like, this is not the right advert. I think I need to do an advert to just showcase that in-laws can be like amazing angels on earth, to be honest. Like, mine is amazing. Anyway, so she came here 15 days. I had no stress whatsoever. I was just myself. Like, she was like my mother, like just hanging out, obviously respectively, but she was here, like we're just chatting, getting to know her more. She was getting to know me more. She took care of her grandchild, and it was just amazing to have her around, such that when she left, I missed her. And what I wanted to say is, obviously my dad is amazing, though I don't talk to him so much, okay? I can talk about my sister-in-law, St. G. She's just amazing. Like, when she comes, she's hip hop, like, the house is down, like, we make noise and so on. And all my cousins, like Sarah, shout out to you, Anna, and so on and so forth. Like, these are just beautiful people. Like, I think my in-laws are the best, to be honest, and I thank God for that. One of the things I wanted to say beyond all this that I've said, is two things. The first one is you have to be careful what you conceive, in your mind, in your heart. I know there's a lot of talk about mothers-in-law, bad songs, being played, being written, like, most like movies, like they showcase this bad picture of a mother-in-law. And I want to encourage you to be careful about what you listen to, what you watch, because everything that you're exposed to will ultimately become something that you expect. And when it comes, you say, oh, I knew it, like I was going to have a bad, mother-in-law. It's not about that. It's about you conceiving the wrong stuff that end up, you end up start seeing those things, That's the first one. Be careful. And number two, I wanted to mention that God is so faithful, God, obviously, my mom went 13 years ago, but God knew that a red rose needed a mother figure in her life. I know you won't believe this, but my mother-in-law reminds me so much about my mom. So much. My mother-in-law is one of the people that everyone loves. Like, everywhere she goes, she settles conflicts, and like, she's just an amazing woman. Super organized, super efficient. Like, I think that's where my husband picked, those traits from. Like, super efficient, super amazing, super kind. She's a woman of peace. That's exactly how my mom was. So I look at God sometimes, I'm like, oh my goodness, like, you love me so much that you gave me a mother-in-law in form of the mother that I lost. Here is my encouragement to you, even as I conclude on this day 7 about in-laws, in-loves, that you need to trust God. You need to trust God is the word, like, imagine what God did for me. Like, I would have been that woman who was just crying about losing a mother. Obviously, my mom was amazing. I loved her and so on. May her soul rest in peace. But look at this. Every time you spend more time complaining about what you've lost, you waste more time giving gratitude to God and opening doors to impossible opportunities that God has in store for you. Imagine if I was busy crying about why God got that mother, if I was admiring other people's mothers, if I was feeling bad when I see a post about people, in a picture about people with their mothers, like, I would have lost out on this amazing opportunity, But I said, God, thank you so much. I love my mom. I miss her. I wish she was here, but, she's gone. So what's the plan? And God made an amazing plan for me. One of these fine days, to the glory of God, I'm going to feature my mom-in-law, and she's just a woman full of life. So I want you to trust God. If you lost your mother, trust God that God is going to move in a way that you won't imagine. Sometimes it could be for me, through, a mother-in-law and many other amazing women. Sometimes it could be through your aunt, and so on and so forth. And if you're looking at me and say, you girl, you don't know what you're talking about, because for me, I have, I don't have a so good mother-in-law. I want you to take it to the Lord in prayer. Remember, it's not about what she's done to you. It's about what you choose to do with what she's done to you. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I've passed stages where, like, I complain about what people do to me because it just brings me down. It's not about what a person, the ugly things they've said, they've done to you. it's about how you respond to those things. I'll talk about, like, you notice that most of the things that I'll be talking about is about how I chose to respond to that. How did I choose to respond to the loss of my mother, And yeah, so remember, God is still on the throne, and if you have issues with your mother-in-law or your parents-in-law, I want to encourage you to take it to the Lord in prayer and let God give you the grace to to pull through. And let me say this: God is able to do everything that you can desire according to His will. See you on the other side.